Welcome to the INDIEPUBCON 2.0 Publishing Philippines, the second convention of the Indie Publishers Cola PH. This convention aims to expand the literary horizons of the independent publishing community in the Philippines and engage readers and creators in insightful dialogues on independent publishing. For the first time, the talks will be conducted on site in four regions: Ilocos, National Capital Region, Cebu, and Mindanao. Tune in to our official Facebook page, this page, for the live stream of the talks and book launches. This is your chance to interact with our guest speakers and learn from their experiences and best practices. IndiePubCon 2.0 is organized by the Indie Publishers Cola PH and supported by the National Book Development Board, Cultural Center of the Philippines, Eight Letters Publishing, Aklat Alamid, Alubat Publishing, Balangay Productions, Kasing Kasing Press, Librong Lira, Southern Voices Printing Press, Librong Lira, Seven Eyes Productions, San Anselmo Publications, Saniyata Publications, University of Northern Philippines, The Big House, A Heritage Home, Park Mall Cebu, and Gateway Gallery. To jumpstart the program and introduce us to the objectives of the convention, here is our event director, Miss Cindy Wong.
Thank you, Chris. To the National Book Development Board Chairman, Mr. Tugade, to my co-publishers who made this event possible, as mentioned by Chris earlier, I just want to mention them once again. Balangay, Seven Eyes, Aklat Alamid, Alubat Publishing, Librong Lira, San Anselmo, Saniago Publications, Southern Voices, and Eight Letters. And to our viewers today, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us here at the first day of IndiePubCon 2.0, an annual event where we celebrate independent writers, publishers, and books. We take this as an opportunity to promote Philippine literature, and for the first time ever, we're going regional. IndiePubCon 2.0 with the theme Publishing Philippines is now a hybrid event with face-to-face venues in Ilocos, Manila, Cebu, and Davao. The 4-day program will live stream once again here on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. So, with my time today, I would like to highlight two things to you, dear viewers. Firstly, our goal as indie publishers, collaborating towards a common goal. So, as you may or may not know yet, the Indie Publishers Collab PH started at the height of the pandemic lockdown in 2020. So, when we started then, our vision was simple, which is to gather together active, independent, small presses that might assist or will assist each other and to work together, given our unique experiences in the publishing industry. But without the support of mainstream institutions and functioning primarily under the radar, there was a need to bring together these publishers to establish a collective to work on common projects. So, in the past or previous year, you've seen us together at the Manila International Book Fair, and this time the Indie PubCon. We also aim to improve the conditions of independent bookmakers and map out the important contributions of independent cultural workers in the publishing industry. So this event, IndiePubCon, is a crucial part of this organization's journey as we seek to establish ourselves as an organization and to expand our reach to other independent publishers and small presses across the country. So this is not just an opportunity to talk about issues, works, and writers that we feel are important to discuss. This is also a chance for us to strengthen the community of independent writers, designers, bookmakers, and presses, and also to capture the diversity of the experience. Another goal of the IndiePubCon is to reach out to communities in the Philippines beyond Manila. And we also want to encourage fellow writers, publishers, booksellers, institutions, and book enthusiasts to help us in promoting the independent publishing industry. So we visualize, hopefully in the future, every Filipino will enjoy and read and support Filipino authors. And if possible, we aim to have more Filipino books reaching the international stage. We hold hand in hand with the National Book Development Board in accomplishing our goals. We know that the road is going to be long and hard, but we believe that only by taking action, no matter how small they may be, we're able to create something more valuable. And for sure, with the support, especially to those of you who are watching right now, we'll achieve greater heights. So, without further ado, on behalf of the Indie Publishers Collab PH, I am officially opening INDIEPUBCON 2.0 Publishing Philippines. Thank you very much and enjoy the event.
Thank you, Ms. Cindy Wong. At this point, may we invite Ms. Carol Tapia from the National Book Development Board to talk about NBDB's programs and incentives. Carol has a business orientation background, having earned an undergraduate and an MBA degree from the University of the Philippines. But her heart and passion is in education and in literacy promotion. That is why, after a fulfilling corporate career, she shifted to the academe and eventually to public service in a government agency promoting these interests. She is now a doctoral candidate for a degree in education, major in educational psychology, also at UP Diliman. Carol has three children and four cats. Please welcome Miss Carol Tapia.
Hi everyone. So I'm asked to discuss the various programs of the NBDB. So there's my slide. So next slide, please. So for the several years now, I think you noticed that we have been very active not only in the social media pages but also in our program. So we are trying to rebrand ourselves as the book authority of the Philippines, and we now know who we are serving. So we are serving the whole publishing value chain. So we provide incentives, subsidies, and programs for creators and publishers to create and produce more quality Filipino books. We also enhance business opportunities in the domestic and international market, provide wider market access for Filipino books and content for the public, research, document, and provide solutions for the publishing industry. I will now mention to you some of our programs or our services. Later on, I will detail some of them. So basically, we offer grants. So some of our grants would be manuscript development grants. So this is the NBDB uh, Trust Fund. We also have a publishing and production grant, a translation grant, and we also give grants for conferences and workshops. So you just have to apply to us if you need some scholarship or to attend local or international workshops. We can provide you this grants. We also have educate for education. So we provide world-class education through the Book Institute of the Philippines. So this is in tie-up with or collaboration with the Book Development Academy of the Association of the Philippines. We also provide trade promotion. So we provide business opportunities in the domestic and international markets through wholesale, retail, and rights promotion. So for rights promotion, we joined several international book fairs, including the London Book Fair. Just recently, the Frankfurt Book Fair. This is the largest book rights selling book fair in the world. And we also joined the Sarja Book Fair. So we will provide grants for publishers to join these book fairs. We also have research capabilities. So we provide research and policy development for the book publishing industry. For the previous years, we had the readership survey. We also have the book industry survey. Just recently, we tied up with attorney Andrea Padascion Flores for the roadmap for the Philippine publishing industry. And we have a textbook production process research on the pipeline right now. So this research hopes to provide more data for the publishing industry. So also we have incentives and subsidies. So we have subsidized sales, fiscal and non-fiscal incentives through the EO 226 or the new Create law. So this Create law provides income tax holidays for enterprises. We also have manufacturing support such as the TAD fee, which provides tax exemption for raw materials such as paper, glue, etc. And also, we provide readership. So we encourage the production, distribution, consumption of Filipino books. So our flagship program, which is the Book Nook, is part of this campaign for readership in the country. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, so for readership, we have the Book Nook. So the Book Nook is a reading, storytelling, and community space in indigenous remote areas around the Philippines. The NBDB helps develop spaces and provides more than 1,500 titles along with training in library science, cultural center management, and storytelling training, among others. So to date, uh, medyo luma na pala tong ano namin data. It says here we have 52 sites, but actually I think we have more than I think around 80 sites this year kasi yung 52 site was last year. Next slide please. So another grant, as I mentioned earlier, would be the National Book Development Trust Fund. So this is a writing grant that provides funding for authors to complete their manuscript, particularly in science and technology, and in subject areas wherein locally authored books are either few or non-existent. This year, we focus on books for the global audience. So sometimes, if you have thesis or dissertation that you want to form into a more marketable book, this can be your venue. Another would be the publication grants. This provide financial subsidies to the production of Filipino authored books for the global audiences, covering copy editing, layout, design, and printing of books. Next slide, please. We also have the Creative Nation Grant. So some of you have joined this already. So grants for creatives to join workshops, contests, awards, conferences, and training for book development, publishing. This covers registration fees and passes to conferences and financial subsidy for country representation to local and international fairs. So recently we had the AFCC. We gave digital passes for some of you. We also had the Macedonia Poetry Fair. Next slide, please. So we also have the translation grant. This is really upcoming and many publishers have joined this grant already. So this subsidizes the translation and design of Filipino books to other local and international languages. Next slide, please. For education, we have the the Book Institute. This is the premier training ground for those working in publishing because investment in people is critical for continued commitment to serious publishing. So we also have, next slide please, the Philippine International Literary Festival. So these are many before it was online, but now we will have this on site already. This is an annual celebration of literature, culture, and creativity. So these are gathering of creatives, readers, and publishers to deep dive into the creative process of the authors, discuss Filipino authored books, talk about development and issues in literature and publishing, and go on a virtual tour of exciting bookstores around the country to market books. Next, please. We also have trade promotion. So in trade promotion, next slide, please. We have the regional book fair. Yeah, so we provide grants to organizations to hold book fairs in the regions. It started this year, 2022. So we have 8 grantees. So we have Bicol, we have Iloilo, the Ilo Mega Book Fair. We have one from Comiquet, Sambuanga. We have Philippine Book Fair in Lipa. Now, we have currently ongoing is the Iloilo Mega Book Fair, Children's Summit. We also have Sibulit Fest, which will open very soon, and Philippine Book Fair in Baguio and Cordilleras. Next, please. So this is another, next slide, please. So this is another trade promotions. The Great Trade Book Offset. Many of indie publishers have joined this. So we subsidize publishers and booksellers so that they can sell their books online at discounts up to 90% to the end consumer. So both the publisher and the consumer benefits from this program. Next slides, please. Slide, please. So we have the awards for awards and recognition. So we have the National Book Award and the National Children's Book Award. So the National Book Award is in partnership with the Manila Critics Circle and recognizes excellent books written, designed, and published in the Philippines. So we have two categories here, the literary and the non-literary. For the National Children's Book Award, this is administered by the Philippine Board on Books for the Young and recognizes the best reads in Philippine children's literature. So those are our programs. So next, I'm going to discuss a little about registration to the NBDB. So before you can get all those incentives, you need to register with the NBDB. Your registration should be active when you apply for these incentives and subsidies that I just mentioned earlier. So our law, RA 8047, mentions that all persons and enterprises engaged in book publishing should register with the National Book Development Board. Next slide, please. So who can register? Enterprises, book publishers, such as printers or digital, print or digital, book exporter, commercial or non-commercial, book importer, commercial and non-commercial, bookseller, retail, reseller, and wholesale. We also have book printer, book industry association, manufacturer of raw materials used in book publishing. We also have, for individuals naman, we added some new categories here that you might be interested in also applying to. So we have authors, writer, designer, we have editors, we have educational technologists. This is a new category. We have illustrator, instructional designer, which is also a new category. Librarian, a new category. Literary agent, literature educator, which is also a new category. Publishing specialist, subject matter expert, and translator. So these are categories for individuals. Next slide, please. So for 2023, because we also want to help the DepEd, the Department of Education, and ultimately our students, we would like to invite you to register as literature educators and subject matter experts so that we can help the DepEd in reviewing various learning materials for the students. So we want to create a pool of subject matter experts and literature educators. So please apply to NBDB for these categories as well. So next slide, please. What are the requirements? So for enterprises, syempre medyo mahaba siya. So we have a duly accomplished online registration form, company profile, DTI SEC, certification of registration, and articles of incorporation, BIR Form 2303, business permit, financial revenue statement, income tax return, list of books published, imported, exported, printed, sold, list of personnel, list of equipment for printers. So please bear with us if we have so many requirements. We just really want to know the industry better through the data that you provide us. So for individuals, medyo konti lang yung requirements. So this include the duly accomplished online registration form, 2 valid IDs, bio note, list of works, both published and unpublished, and of course, we need to see the proof of work. Okay, so next slide, please. So we'll just show you that this is our uh, website. So look for the e-registration part. So yeah. Okay, so for any questions, next slide, please. You can reach us through this email addresses. So for registration and accreditation, it's registration at books.gov.ph. So if you want to reach us for subsidies, it's subsidies at books.gov.ph. So here, uh, so thank you very much for giving us the time to present again our programs and present NBDB. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Ms. Carol. It is fortunate that the board offers these incentives and programs so that indie publishers and authors may apply to augment their respective projects. And speaking of programs, we are again inviting you to watch the live stream of Indie Pub events, or if possible, attend physically for so that you can enjoy the talks and the activities. And with that, I'm going to read the final lineup of the talks and launches for the 4-day event or the 5-day event. So let's start off with Ilocos, the Ilocos leg, tomorrow at 8 a.m. at the University of Northern Philippines Auditorium in Vigan City, Ilocos Sur. The talks will be moderated by Ms. Annalisa Gaspar and to be headed by Sir John Lee Lazaga for An Ilocano History of the Book, Tagnawa System in Ilocano Book Publishing by Sir Neo Valdez, Ilocano Criticism and the Haunting of the Ilocano Writer by Mark Louis Tabunan. And on the same day in Mindanao, you can see the program on your screens as well. At the Big House in Davao, Lalawigan, and Davao del Sur. At 2:30, the first session is Independent Publishing in Southern Mindanao. Representatives from 3 indie initiatives in Southern Mindanao will discuss how they promote independent and alternative publishing. So that features Neil Teves, MJ Kagumbay Tumama. And then the second session, Writer Advocates from Southern Mindanao, featuring Laila Rispens Noel. She's also an author from Eight Letters Bookstore in Publishing. Elizabeth Joy Serrano Quijano from the Davao Writers Guild, and also from the same guild, Jenny Arado, will discuss how they advocate for their language, culture, and place through writing and publishing. Okay, and then there's another session by 6 p.m., Writing the Self and Indie Publishing. So this time it's going to be two authors who will talk about how independent and alternative publishing can be platforms for documenting personal experiences. So that's Real Benedict Obinke and Jade Mark Capinanes. The day after, November 26 in Cebu, we'll start off with a forum celebrating Cebuano writers' diversity with Mito Suson and Cindy Velasquez. And this, of course, will be moderated by Cindy Wong. And then to be followed by Discovering Cebuano's History through Eskrima with Celestino Macachor and Paul Taneo. So martial arts advocates there, or those who would like to know more about Eskrima can also watch the event. Then this is to be followed by 3 book launches, Operation Black by Chris Canonigo, The Other Side of Faith by Orlando P. Carvajal, and Quarantine Wisdom and Other Absurdities by Mito Suson. And for the millennial writers out there, millennial and Gen Z writers, there's also a talk, The Cebuano Millennial Writer with Daniel Indic, Alisa Caballero, Lea Jane Salud, and Jay-Z Romero. And by 3 p.m., a workshop, The Whys and Hows of Writing a Book by Ayo Gutierrez. And by 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., a Pitch Your Book session. And last but not the least, in Manila, where I'll be on November 27 at Gateway Gallery, there will be a keynote address by national artist Virgilio Almario, a book launch of Agua by author Enrique S. Villasis, and a book signing as well, and a short talk. There's also a talk and Q&A for pandemic persons for the future generations, karanasan ng mga manunulat sa panahon ng pandemya bilang panitikang alay sa henerasyong hinaharap by Renato Viviesca, and also a launching of Hingang Malalim, Books 1 and 2, published by Seven Eyes Productions. Then there's also another talk, this time about marketing local books during the pandemic, learning the best practices and moving forward. The panelists are Eman Barameda of Balangay Media Productions, Muki Katigbak La Cuesta of Good Intentions Publishing, and Marvin Aceron of San Anselmo Press. This is to be headed by analyst and reactor marketing consultant Vanessa Bicomo. In the afternoon, this time, the afternoon is reserved for children's literature, Panitikang Pambata sa Gitna ng Pandemya at Kahirapan, with UP Pampanga Professor Rowena Festin as the main speaker, and China Patria de Vera of Aklat Alamid, author Bumlao, journalist and editor Carla Mortel Barikawa, and publisher and author Digi Ana Rayong as the reactors. And then children's storybooks launch with illustrators Maria Victoria Esquilio, Bayani Olaguer, and author Carla Mortel Barikawa. And then on the same day in the evening, we'll all go back online for the official closing of the Indie Book Awards. And of course, there's going to be the announcement of the winners of the awards. So thank you so much. To cap off the first day of the convention, here is a short video to reintroduce the Indie Pub Collab PH, its members, and their vision of a publishing Philippines.
Ano nga ba ang silbi ng balangay sa panahon ngayon? Isa lang ba para dumugsong tayo sa isang alaala? Alaala na nagsasabing mayroon tayong pamamaraang sinauna na hindi isinususog sa kultura ng iba o sa paniniwala ng iba. Sa pagbubuo ng isang balangay sa panahon ngayon, hindi natin ito dadalhin na isa lamang simbolo o isang alaala. Kasama nating ipinapakang sa pinakakatawan ng bangkang ito ang paniniwalang mas alam natin ang ating karagatan at mga baybaying nilulungsaran. Sa paggawa ng babalik natin ang gaod sa niyahan. Ito ang isang media productions na dapat pinagtitibay ang panitikan at pagbabasa kung saan dapat na una itong umuugat sa sarili-sarili nating pamayanan sa bayang pinagmumulan ng mananala. Ang pinaniniwalaan naming timon kung bakit mapapahalagahan ng mga pamayanang ito ang sarili nilang panitikan at mga manunulat. At kung makikita nila na nararapat maging gawaing pampamayanan ang paglalathala at paglilimbag ng aklat. Ito ang pamamaraang sinauna na gustong ipagpatuloy ng balangay sa ngayon. Ang pagsaloob. Sa ganitong paraan ay dadaong tayo sa isang pamayanang may pagmamahal sa sarili at may tiwala sa sariling kakayahan. May naisulat si Padre Alsina sa Historia de las Isla e Indios de las Visayas na kinukwento kung gaano kabilis tumakbo ang balangay. Masyado raw itong mabilis na di mo kakayaning tumayo habang tumatakbo ito. Mayroon din daw mga bangkang ginagawa gamit ang mga piraso ng kahoy na pinagkakabit ng biniyak na ratan at bilo ng bulak na tumatahi rito. Kaya raw nitong sumakay sa mga alon. Ginagamitan ito ng sagwan panggaod. Wala raw pagkakataong ito ay nabasag. Mga bangka raw itong kayang maglayag kung saan man naising. Ganito rin sana ang mga aklat ng balangay.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Ray Tamayo Jr. mula po sa Seven Eyes Production. At salamat po at ilang araw na po ang nakakalipas ay nakatutok pa rin po kayo dito sa aming isinasagawang INDIEPUBCON 2021. Nais ko lang din po magbigay ng kaunting impormasyon tungkol sa aming maliit na produksyon. Taong 2019 nagpasimula po ang Seven Eyes Production. Naging struggle po sa amin ang mga taon na ito dahil ilang buwan pa lang po ang nakakalipas ay nagkaroon na ng pandemic. Kaya struggle talaga para sa amin. Ngunit tulong naman ng Panginoon ay hanggang sa kasalukuyan ay nakakatulong pa rin po ang Seven Eyes Production, lalo-lalo na po sa ating mga indie writers, sa ating mga manunulat. Partikular na po ang mga baguhang manunulat na layunin namin na matulungan sila na mailathala ang kanilang mga akda, ang kanilang mga obra at magkaroon ng espasyo sa daigdig ng publikasyon particular na po dito patuloy na sumusuporta sa aming Seven Eyes production. Ang ilan sa mga aklat na nailathala nitong mga nakalipas na mga taon ay ang balintuna, mga kwentong kakatwa na nagkaroon po ng bahagi at nagkaroon ng introduction po dito ang respetadong manunulat at naging guro din po namin sa sertipiko sa panitikan at malikayang pagsulat sa Politeknikong Universidad ng Pilipinas, si Sir Jun Cruz Reyes. Naglathala rin po ang Seven Eyes ng aklat na lakbay, mga tulang lagalag, na may introduction naman po ni Tatal Raul Punilas. Narayan din ang kalimbahin. Mga dagli naman po ito na pangunahing nakaloob dito ay ang mga kwento ng ating mga kababaihan, kanilang mga danas. Nariyan din po ang aksyon, mga dagli ng mga eksenang buhay na may introduction naman po ng dalawa sa mga mahuhusay na direktor ng pelikulang Pilipino, si Sir Jimmy Libiran at Sir Ralston Hober. Nariyan din po ang buhawi, mga tula naman ito, ang kauna-unahang antolohiya na ilathala ng Seven Eyes na may introduction naman po ni Sir MJ Rapal. Andyan din po ang Katastropia, mga sakuna, mga disaster, mga bagyo, mga lindol, at inspired po ito ng naranasan nating mga kasalukuyang nararanasan nating pandemic na may introduction naman po ni Sir Renato Bibiesca. At ang pinakahuling anthology na nailathala namin as of now ay ang Hingang Malalim, mga kwento sa panahon ng pandemya na may introduction din at inedit ni Sir Renato Bibiesca. Ito naman po ay mga akda ng mga sariling danas ng mga estudyante ng PUP. Ang Seven Eyes Production ay bahagi rin ng the INDIEPUBCON PH. Kasama rin po namin dito ang iba't ibang mga indie publishing company na tumutulong sa ating mga manunulat na mailathala ang kanilang mga akda. Sa bahagi pong ito, kung ang ating topic ay hinggil sa anthology, magbibigay lang po kami ng ilang mga tips at sana ay makatulong lalo-lalo na po sa mga nagtatangkang magpasa ng kanilang mga akda sa mga panawagan hinggil sa mga antolohiya. Narito po ang ilang mga dapat nating malaman, ang mga importanteng isaalang-alang natin sa pagpapasa ng mga akda sa mga panawagan sa mga antolohiya. Una, dapat po natin malaman agad ang anyo ng naturang panawagan. Ito ba ay tula, dagli, maikling kwento para makapaghanda na po tayo ng ating mga isusulat. Malaman din natin ano ba ang paksa ng naturang panawagan. Ito ba ay politikal, pantasya, sariling danas o mga kwentong kakatwa tulad ng nailathala namin sa kalimbahin. Ang pangunahing hinanap po namin ay mga sariling danas ng mga kababaihan na manunulat. Yan po. At dapat malaman din natin ang ilang mga kahingian. Ito ang tinitingnan ng mga editor at partikular na ng editor ng naturang antolohiya. Ilang pahina ba ang dapat na limitasyon? Ito ba ay double space? Dapat malaman din po natin yan. Minsan kung ito ay dagli, dapat malaman natin na ito ay maikli lamang. Kaya minsan nilalagay nila yung bilang ng salita. Yon. May mga na-encounter ako nitong mga nakalipas na mga panawagan din namin na ang kanilang dapat na isusumite ay 300 words lamang. Ngunit may mga ibang nagpasa 700, 500, automatic po nare-reject na po namin yon. Kaya importante po na malaman natin na ilang pahina ba ang dapat na limitasyon, kung double space, at yung bilang ng salita. At kailangan din malaman din natin yung font size na nais ng editor at kung anong font ang gagamitin. May mga karagdagang referensya din. Kadalasan ito ay mga babasahin, mga ibang mga aklat upang makakuha ng ideya ang mga manunulat na ito ang pangunahing hinihingi ng naturang antolohiya. Dapat malaman din natin higit sa lahat yung kung saan natin ipadadala yung ating mga lahok. Especially po yung deadline ng pagsusumite dahil kahit anong ganda po ng ating mga akda, kung lagpas na po doon sa hinihinging deadline ng mga publisher, ay hindi po ito mapapasama. Kaya importante na malaman po natin ang anyo, paksa, mga kahingian, at yung deadline po ng pagsusumite. Narito po ang isa sa mga halimbawa ng panawagan. Nais ko lang din pong basahin ang ilan sa mahalagang kahingian ng editor. Politikal ang paksa na tinatalakay ng akda, bagamat maaaring magsimula ito sa personal na mga hinaing. Nakatuon ang akda sa isang partikular na lugar, bayan, nayon, komunidad, barangay, na magiging lunsaran ng buong naratibo. May minimum na 10 pahina, double space. At maaaring ipasa ito sa bayanbayanan2016@gmail.com at ang deadline ng submission nila ay July 30, 2016. Ito po yung mga halimbawa na tinalakay po natin kanina na maaaring maging gabay ninyo sa pagpapasa ng mga antolohiya. Dapat din nating isaalang-alang na ang ating ipapasa ay yung masasabi nating best sa mga nilikha natin. Kung ang halimbawa sa tula ay isa lamang ang kailangan na isubmit, piliin na po natin yung pinakamagandang tula natin o pinakamagandang maikling kwento natin, pinakamagandang mga dagli natin. Kaya isang oportunidad din ito na maaari nating mapaglaanan din ng oras upang sa mga susunod na mga pagkakataon ay makita rin natin ang ating mga pangalan sa mga anthologies na mga panawagan po ng iba't ibang mga publikasyon.
So the idea of 8 Letters Bookstore and Publishing started when Marigold Uy and I, Cindy Wong, thought of helping out fellow indie writers out there to get more sales. So we were also indie writers ourselves, and we thought it's so hard to sell books, especially when you don't have a big fan base. So at that time, that was 6 years ago, we thought, okay, why not we put these books in a box and supply them to different cafes in Manila. It was an experiment, and so we built these boxes and contacted different cafes and ran the program for 1 whole year. We were hoping that when people see these books in a place where they could usually chill, relax, they'll find these books. And mainstream bookstores would cost us a lot of money, and based from experiences, it's not very sustainable for small publishers like us. So, like most startups, we failed unfortunately because we realized that people go to cafes to chill and eat and to talk and not really to read books. So, we decided to change our strategy. Well, I think it's also important to note that I was based in Hong Kong at that time, and Marigold was based in Isabela. So she would drive for 1 whole day just to get to Manila, and I would fly for a couple of hours. And I think that speaks a lot about our passion for what we were doing. And so over the years, we would
Habang ako'y ipunin na sa bote ang lahat ng ating naramdaman. Ilaan na lang.
Were there times when we wanted to give up? Wow, absolutely. Marigold would go on hiatus, I would focus on my full-time job, but eventually we will find ourselves weeks later, getting back to it again. We've always loved writing and collaborating, and this is where we found great friendships too.
So fast forward to 2021, you can now find works by Michelle Alagao, Jarius Bondok, R.C. Perez, Lola Cuentosera, Sandra Bilio, Francisco Montesena, Alvin B. Cruz, Ron Lacson, Luna Sicat Pleto, Lila Spence Noel, Jerome de la Peña, and many more.
And now look at us, we're here at the first ever INDIEPUBCON in the Philippines. This is just the beginning where we hope we can help, encourage, and inspire more writers. 8 Letters also offers indie publishing services, so check out www.8lettersbooks.com for more details.
There we have it. Thank you so much for tuning in to day one of IndiePubCon 2.0. We hope to see you guys virtually or physically in the succeeding days. Have a good night, everyone, and thank you for watching.